Hey everyone, and welcome back to Small Engine Edge. Today we're going to go over how we quickly and efficiently estimate riding mower and zero-turn mowers. This is something you don't want to spend a ton of time on, but you want to get an accurate diagnosis of exactly what the whole machine is and what's going on with it. If you take a look at something and it's just in horrible shape, why spend a whole lot of time doing a complete estimate on that? Give them a general ballpark figure and see if they're going to want to fix it, and then you can proceed from there. If the mower's in good shape and everything, looking at it right off top, obviously you're going to get into it deeper, and I'm going to show you exactly how we do that in a very short amount of time. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as we go along if you enjoy the content. Any riding mower or zero turn that comes in, obviously if it's running, you're going to listen for a few things. Is it loud? How is it running? Is there any smoke, black or white, when it's starting up? Are there any obvious signs of engine issues? Of course, if it's not running, you're going to have to go through a full diagnostic on it to figure out exactly why, and that may take a little bit longer. But we're going to talk about running things today. A lot of the stuff we get in, hey, it'll be in for just a flat tire or just a deck issue, but we look at it thoroughly to make sure that they get a complete picture of exactly what's going on. So if that engine sounds pretty good and everything, if it's a V-twin engine, we will always check each cylinder independently, no matter what. We'll pull one plug and run on one side and then plug that one back in and run on the other side. You want to make sure that both of those cylinders are operating. Many people will bring stuff in and it's running on one cylinder and they don't ever know about it. They're running on that half power and not even questioning that. It's in for a completely different issue. Oh, they just need the blades sharpened and the oil changed. Well, you want to give them a complete view, and not just because that's what's best for their equipment, but it's also what's best for your pocket. You want to upsell those things if there is something else going on. And I'm not saying push something on somebody that doesn't need done, but absolutely give them all of the info about their machine, no matter what it's in for. I'll show you how we check out the engine here right away. So quite obviously, this is a single cylinder Briggs & Stratton, but they're all kind of checked the same way. Obviously, look for those signs of smoke. If you see anything, if it's white smoke, it could point towards a bad head gasket or other issues. You can always run it, and then you can pull the dipstick to see if there's any smoke in there. If there is, chances are you likely have a blown head gasket and you can investigate further. But we're going to look all around, especially at our sump gasket, see if there's any leaks. And then also at the head gasket, valve cover gasket. Looks like this one might have been seeping some at some point. But if you've got oil coming under this guard and in between the block and the head, you know that that head gasket is blown out towards that direction. Same thing over here. This one actually looks extremely clean. I don't really see much going on with it. No seepage or anything. And then we can look at the bottom also and see if there's any oil pooled up or any oil down below. That's going to tell you if you have a bad PTO seal or not. Does the oil need changed? Does the air filter need replaced? What's the condition of the battery? What's the year? This one's 924. Is it all corroded and stuff? Nope, this one's in great shape. Take just a quick glance at all the wiring. Again, connections. Make sure that there's nothing obvious right off the top. Next, we'll check the deck out. Is it something that's off on one side real bad? Is it low on one side? Is it low in the front? Or is everything pretty well even? Drop it down. If everything isn't even, you can take a look at the tires, make sure that they are fully inflated and stuff, because that can provide kind of a false reading on your deck. And then what we'll do, we'll pull the belt off. So we're going to pull the deck belt off just so we can engage up top. We'll engage the blade since this is a manual PTO engagement. If it's not a manual PTO engagement, we'll still take the belt off because we want to spin these pulleys. We want to spin the idler pulleys. One here, one here. What kind of noise are we getting? If you're getting a bunch of noise and play out of it, it's a little bit of play. It's not real bad noise, but that pulley could go out in the near future. If this isn't something that you estimate, then it is something that the customer may say once they get it back and it goes out in a month or so. They're going to say, hey, well, you just checked it out, or you just tuned it up, or whatever you did, and they're going to blame you for that. Once you check the idlers, obviously you'll check the condition of the belt and everything too. This one looks pretty decent. Then we can spin our spindle here, spin the blade down below, and just see what kind of noise you get out of it. If you're getting a bunch of grinding and stuff, it's definitely not good. There is some play up and down in this, just barely, but it's not bad. And I don't hear any grinding at all. So we're going to call that good. Obviously check both sides. Inside does seem to have a little more noise. You're always going to hear a little bit of that belt noise because we didn't take the belt completely off. So the belt's still rubbing on the pulley. There's a little bit of up-down play here too. So I wouldn't say that those have to be replaced right now, but these spindles will need replaced sometime in the near future. We can put our deck belt back on now that we know the condition of that. And we can engage it. Look at the tension of the belt. Is everything good with that? Or is it really loose? What's the condition of the cable? Is it all good, or is there a bunch of rust or anything where it's going to go bad soon? Is there any rusting out of the deck? Are there any broken welds or hanger brackets that are not intact? Same goes for the deck wheel and welds up front. Just overall complete picture of the deck is what you're looking at. Again, same thing if yours has an electric PTO clutch. Make sure that the tension is good, that your belt's not loose or slipping or anything, and then pull it off the back clutch to see what the idler pulleys and the bearings look like. Next, we will want to look at the drive belt. So we'll want to get just above the deck here, and we will want to check this belt out. This belt pretty well looks brand new. Idler pulleys, as long as your parking brake is locked in, you can spin these. The belt is normally going to be loose. If it's on a zero turn, it's always going to stay tight. So you're not really going to be able to do that without removing the belt. We normally won't do that, but you should be able to hear a bad idler pulley as the mower is running if you have one. This, if it's on a riding mower, as soon as you release that brake, that's when you'll start hearing a bunch of noise if that's the case. This is not the only belt on this. There is another belt in back on these transmissions, so you want to check that one. Check the frame while you're right here also. Make sure there's no cracks or stress marks. Many of the Craftsman AYP Husqvarna ones have a frame weakness, and we see those broken quite a bit. We also see the John Deeres and other models broken too. It's just kind of a weak spot, right where the pressure goes from you sitting on it, right in front of the wheels. Same thing with the frame down below. This one has a different bolt at the frame, but these crack both here and at the support brackets in front. The Simplicities are notorious for this support bracket breaking, which is actually on the other side on the Simplicity, but then your transmission can just move kind of up and down in the front, and then it'll snap off here. So then the frame will actually break at the back. On this one, the transmission is seeping some grease, both there and at the output shaft. Those seals many times will fail and cause this to happen. If those belts are extremely brittle or you see any cracks or any wear to them at all, don't hesitate to estimate those to the customer. Again, no matter why it was in here, tell them, hey, we also saw this. Always a good idea to give that complete picture. And if any of those idler pulleys are rough or the spindles or anything like that, you want to also estimate those. Give them a breakdown. This is what it's going to cost for this. This is what it's going to cost for what you wanted done, and this is what it would be if we did a full service along with those things. Many times people will include that service or they'll include those other things just because you gave them that picture of it. You want to do that each and every time, each and every piece of equipment that comes in. With the drivetrain, when you're bringing it in, you also want to pay attention to if it's slipping when it's going on the table. Is the drive good? Is it fast? Does it seem like it's slow or it's sluggish at all? You just pay attention to that when you're driving that mower in. Same thing with zero turns. If you're going along and one's extremely weak and one's real fast, that's something that you'll at least want to take a look at and see why that is while it's here. With something like this transmission, it's a little bit different than most, but it's all exactly the same process of estimating things for these customers. You want to give them that, again, that complete picture. The steering, is the steering off? Is it real far off one way? Are the wheels towed in or out? And then we'll also look at the wheel bearings here. Make sure that those are good. Whether it's a riding mower or a zero turn, we will jack up the front. Just going to come to our plate here, barely jack it up. And we're basically just going to move each one of these wheels and see if there's a bunch of play. Now that wheel bearing is not in great shape. That's something that we may want to address or at least estimate to this customer. That play is only going to get worse and worse as this thing goes on. And we're looking for the side-to-side play. In and out is not a big deal. You're always going to have a little bit of in and out. And then also, if this whole assembly, if you can take this and move this shaft here at all, that's not a good thing. This one does have a little bit of play also. There's normally bushings in there that or the shaft could be worn. All of these things are general wear items that go bad on these. You can check those blades while you're driving, see how everything sounds, even when you're pulling it in. If you want to check the PTO while it's up here, all you have to do is turn your Kita on and pull the PTO switch on most electrical setups anyway. Some of them will require you to be in the seat, but normally you can just turn it to on and pull the PTO clutch. You should hear that strong snap when you do that. Check for anything else quirky, right? This seat is in bad shape, and I noticed something extremely different about this one when we were looking at it. When I went to start it up, I noticed that it didn't seem like the controls were working right. Well, as we're looking here, the choke is controlling the throttle, and the throttle is controlling the choke. That does make a whole lot of sense based on the symptoms they said it came in with, where somebody fixed an oil leak for them, and now it won't run right. Something's weird about the throttle, they say. Definitely. Same thing for oil leaks on your hydro pump or your transaxle. I didn't go over that on the other one, but if you see seeping coming out of any of these lines, out of the expansion tank, or anywhere on those transaxles or hydro pumps, either way, you want to also address that and let the customer know that there is an issue with leaking. This one, it's kind of hard to tell. There's oil everywhere, and it may have just been that engine oil leak that they said somebody fixed that was causing this. It's the same thing down below for wheel motors or output shafts towards the tires. If there's any seepage or leakage. This one, it's kind of hard to tell down below if there's any leakage coming from that PTO seal just because everything is so oil covered. But those drive belts down here do look good, or that one drive belt. Again, if you're looking at a mower and it's in just completely horrendous shape, everything's all rusted out, the deck's in bad shape, all of these spindles are rough, the belts are bad, give the customer a broad quote. Hey, it's going to cost between $500 and $700 likely. Would you like me to proceed with a more accurate quote based on what we see? And most times people are going to be like, well, hey, I don't even want to spend that much money, and won't have you proceed. But don't waste your money estimating something if the mower's not going to be worth that to begin with. If the head gaskets are seeping or the crankcase gasket's bad also, you've got to kind of manage those with customers and say, hey, I see all this going on. How far do you want me to go? Do you want me to do any of this other stuff? Do you really want to do this X, Y, and Z to it that it came in for when all of this other stuff is going on? You don't want to have customers waste their money, and you don't want to waste your time. People are not very happy when you fix one thing and it goes back out. And regardless of whether it's your fault or not, if something else breaks in the near future, well, I just stuck this amount of money into it and this amount of money, it's nickel and diming me. Why do we keep doing this? And sometimes that's because you didn't give them a complete picture of what was going on. If you would have, yes, maybe you would have had a little less money, but you also would have had a lot less frustration, and you wouldn't be dumping somebody else's money into a piece of equipment like that. Otherwise, estimate it systematically, kind of like we did, and it only takes 5 to 10 minutes. Normally, I can get them done in less than 5. just going through it all real quick and have a very accurate estimate for that customer that really costs me nothing. I mean, a few minutes of my time, and most times customers will pay for those little extra things. So that's going to keep you from wasting your time on some of the stuff that's going to take forever and you're going to be way over your head as far as cost goes, and a lot of frustration with all that stuff. It's got everything wrong with it. Yeah. Anyway, hopefully this helps somebody out if you're looking to diagnose equipment and how to do that quickly and efficiently to keep your business running smoother. Ultimately, your time is your money, and if you can do things and make people happy, that's what's going to drive those customers back, and that's what's going to keep you in business for a very long time and keep you very profitable. Stay away from some of those things that are going to be money holes that people aren't going to be happy with no matter the case. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the content.